October 31st, 2008. The world is reeling from the worst financial crisis since the Great Depression. Banks are collapsing. Governments are bailing out the very institutions that caused the meltdown. Trust in traditional finance is shattered. On that Halloween night, a mysterious person or group using the pseudonym Satoshi Nakamoto posts a 9-page white paper titled Bitcoin, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system, to a cryptography mailing list. This short document isn't just a technical paper, it's a blueprint for a new kind of money, one that doesn't need banks, governments, or any middlemen. Today we're breaking down the main points, the historical context, and the powerful lessons every reader can take away from Satoshi's legendary white paper. Satoshi starts with a simple observation. Online commerce relies almost entirely on banks and payment processors as trusted third parties. These intermediaries work okay for big transactions, but they create 3 big problems. First, every payment can be reversed, leading to fraud disputes and high mediation costs. Second, merchants have to collect extra personal data from customers out of fear of chargebacks. And third, small casual payments become impractical because fees eat them alive. In the physical world, we hand over cash and the deal is done. No reversals, no trust required. But digitally, there was no equivalent. Satoshi's core question: how do we create electronic cash that lets 2 people transact directly, peer-to-peer, without a trusted middleman? The breakthrough is elegant and revolutionary. Satoshi solves the double spend problem without needing a central authority. The risk that someone spends the same digital coin twice is the core challenge of digital money. Here's how it works. Step by step, an electronic coin is defined as a chain of digital signatures. When you send Bitcoin, you digitally sign a hash of the previous transaction and the recipient's public key. The recipient can verify the entire ownership chain, but verification alone isn't enough. To prevent double spending, the network needs a public, unchangeable record of all transactions in chronological order. Satoshi introduces a timestamp server that takes a block of transactions, hashes them, and publishes the hash, like stamping the exact moment they happened. Each new timestamp includes the previous one, forming an unbreakable chain. To make this decentralized and secure, Satoshi borrows and improves Adam Back's Hashcash idea, proof of work. Miners compete to solve a difficult computational challenge: finding a nonce that makes the block's hash start with zeros. This takes real computing power and electricity. Once solved, the block is broadcast. Other nodes verify it easily with 1 hash. Changing a past block would require redoing the proof of work for that block and every single block after it, an exponentially harder task as the chain grows. The longest chain becomes the accepted history. Honest nodes controlling the majority of power will always outpace attackers. Satoshi then lays out the exact rules for the network to operate. New transactions are broadcast to all nodes. Nodes collect them into blocks and start mining. When a node finds a valid proof of work, it broadcasts the block. Every node accepts it only if all transactions are valid. Nodes express acceptance by starting to mine the next block on top of it. This is the heart of consensus. If 2 valid blocks are found at the same time, nodes work on the first one they receive, but keep the other in case it grows longer. The tie is broken naturally when the next block extends 1 chain further. To keep the system fair, new coins are created as a mining reward, the famous block subsidy, starting at 50 BTC and halving roughly every 4 years. This incentivizes people to run nodes and secures the network. Transaction fees eventually take over as the subsidy decreases. Satoshi also addresses practical details: pruning old transactions with Merkle trees to save disk space, simplified payment verification for lightweight clients, allowing mobile use without a full copy of the blockchain, privacy through public key cryptography instead of real names. The ledger is public, but your identity is shielded. Lesson 5. Transparency and pseudonymity can coexist. The ledger is public, but your identity doesn't have to be. Satoshi also addresses practical details: pruning old transactions with Merkle trees to save disk space, simplified payment verification for lightweight clients, privacy through public key cryptography instead of real names, and even the math proving that the probability of a successful attack drops exponentially with each new block. So what are the big lessons every reader should internalize from this 9-page masterpiece? Lesson 1. Trust is expensive and fragile. Satoshi showed that we can replace institutional trust with cryptographic proof and economic incentives. Lesson 2. Decentralization beats central control. By distributing power across thousands of nodes worldwide, no single government, bank, or hacker can shut the system down or rewrite history. Lesson 3. Scarcity and predictability matter. The fixed issuance schedule and proof of work make Bitcoin a form of digital gold, hard money that can't be printed on demand. Lesson 4. Incentives align security. Miners are paid to be honest. Attackers must spend more resources than they could ever steal. Lesson 5. Transparency and pseudonymity can coexist. The ledger is public, but your identity doesn't have to be. And perhaps the most important lesson: big ideas don't need permission. One anonymous paper, released at the perfect historical moment, sparked a trillion-dollar industry and challenged centuries-old financial systems. One great idea can change the world. Bitcoin's white paper is only 9 pages long, yet it changed the world. Satoshi disappeared in 2011, leaving behind code, a vision, and an unsolved mystery. But the system Satoshi described is still running today, decentralized, borderless, and more secure than ever. Whether you're a developer, investor, economist, or simply someone who values financial freedom, the white paper is required reading. It proves that technology, combined with sound incentives, can create money that works for people instead of against them. If you haven't read it yet, download the original PDF from bitcoin.org. It will take you less than 30 minutes, and it might just change how you see money forever. Thanks for watching. If this video helped you understand Satoshi's vision, hit like, subscribe, and drop a comment. What's the biggest lesson you took from the white paper? See you in the next one.